What is going on, everyone? Some baseball news here, some Phillies news as well. Mike Trout is finalizing a 12-year, $430 million deal with the Angels. And let's just be clear here, because I don't want to be the guy who sits here and says, look, I'm right, look, I'm right. But this is reality. And I got literally destroyed about it during the times of the Bryce Harper signing. I wanted to go after Bryce Harper. There were a ton of fans out there. So many Phillies fans. Why are we going after Harper? Wait for Mike Trout. He's from South Jersey. He's going to want to play here. Why wouldn't he? He's from Millville. He's from the area. Of course he wants to come here. Is that how it works? Is that how it works? You don't walk away from $430 million. Now, once we got Bryce Harper and the little tampering situation went on, I got sucked in and said, yeah, well, maybe. But that was after we got Bryce Harper. The fact that there were actual fans who said, screw Bryce, screw Manny, I don't want any of those guys. Let's just sit here, relax, put our feet up, and just wait for Mike Trout to come to us. Because that's what's going to happen since he's just from the area. Because he's an Eagles fan, he's going to want to come here, and he's going to want to play for us because he's from South Jersey. That's just not how it works. That's not reality. I would never say, screw Bryce, screw Manny, we don't need them. Let's just continue to relax and just wait. That's not the thing. Once we got Bryce, then things changed. I got sucked in and said, well, we have Bryce now. Of course I would love to add Mike Trout. And I thought they had a little connection going. But for real, who turns down $430 million for 12 years? You just don't. If you're Mike Trout, regardless of if the Angels are good, the Angels are bad, you have $430 sitting on the table. You don't walk away from that, and you're living in L.A. Listen, it's a no-brainer in Mike Trout's situation. It's a win-win. You're getting paid $430 million. You have a home there. He has a tie. He has a connection to that fan base, whether they win or not. He's dedicated to them. And he even mentioned before, about Philly. There's reports out there that said it could be a little too much to come home. A little too much expectation to come home. He likes what he has out in L.A. And clearly, $430, yeah, that says enough. Hey, stay. Stay. Of course, they bribed him a little. Stay. You don't turn that down. You just don't. So, it's getting finalized now. It's pretty damn crazy. That is so much money. Technically, now Bryce Harper is poor. And realistically, listen, I know Mike Trout is a better baseball player than Bryce Harper. He's arguably one of the best ever when you look at his statistics in the game. But does that mean we got Bryce Harper at a bargain? For the AAV side of it? I'm just curious how, understanding the luxury tax, what the Angels are going to do to try and provide surrounding pieces with Mike Trout. Now, of course, you do it. Because you make sure the best talent ever doesn't leave your franchise. You can have arguably the best baseball player ever and you're going to let him walk? No. Or you're going to trade him at the end of the deadline? No. You spend as much money as you can possibly can to keep him there, and then you try and build around him. So, kudos to the Angels for keeping him, because obviously he was a hot item. And it's good that it happened after the saga of the free agents, because then teams that are waiting for Mike Trout, just say Yankees, Red Sox, or whatever, then they try and sneak in on the Mannies and the Bryces if this were to happen earlier in the offseason. Other Phillies news. Gabe Kapler. Just the Phillies in general. Carlos Santana. This crazy wild report about TV smashing and that late August, September run with the Phillies where things were going south. Things were going bad. Addicted to Fortnite. Guys were playing Fortnite in the game, in the clubhouse. And Gabe Kapler came out and stated things fell apart. And that's why earlier in this training camp, spring training, he came out and said, it's going to be different this year. It's going to be a lot more responsibility, and you really have to, have a lot of responsibility. And he's going to hold you to that. Now, this is interesting to me. To see and hear that it got to this extent, where Carlos Santana is smacking TVs with his bat. And listen, I understand that's a little over the top, but in my opinion, I think he has the right mentality. If you're going through a stretch like that, and there's 30 minutes before a game, or even during a game, you're playing Fortnite during an MLB game, or even a little bit before a game, That's not the right mentality. Like, come on, you're a professional athlete. You can't be playing in the clubhouse. I get it on your off days or whatever, or 5 hours, 4 hours before the game, absolutely. But when you're in that environment and it's game time, you got to be focused. Put your earphones in, think about pitches. Oh, we threw me a fastball last time, first pitch, then he went curveball slider. Just, you got to be mentally preparing. I think Carlos Santana had the right mindset. Maybe smashing a TV with the bat is a little extreme, but he has the right professional mindset in that time. But what does this say about Gabe Kapler? He lost the locker room last year. And I said, I will give him the benefit of the doubt moving into this year. He has, my 100% game. Like, I trust him 100% early in this until I see him mess up. I'm giving him a clean slate. He can have it. But now I have a little question mark on, maybe how he keeps the culture. Now, of course, guys like Bryce Harper will add to that. We had Jake Arrieta last year, so how can I say that he would change anything? Andrew McCutchen, guys like that, Gene Segura. It's a different mindset. It's not these young players. That's the reality of young players these days, though, and young athletes. They are different than the older players when it comes to, stuff outside the locker room, video games. It's totally different. It's a pretty wild story, though, and no wonder that the Phillies just plummeted down. Now, do I think it's because of that? No, probably not, but just the fact that when it happened, their mindset wasn't, hey, let's get out of this slump. It's, hey, let's go get 5 kills and go to Tilted Towers. Well, that's the issue. But it's a pretty damn wild story, and, I just want to know down below your thoughts on Gabe Kapler now. Do you trust him? Do you think he can keep a locker room together? Does your mindset change on him moving forward, knowing how bad and how loose it really got at the end of last year during that horrendous, historic collapse? I mean, you're talking about players maybe not really trusting Gabe and not having respect for Gabe. But I will say Kapler came out early on this season and pretty much made a statement to the media saying it's going to change. I'll give people freedom to be who they are. I'll let them have their personalities. That's what it's all about. But it will be strict and it will be a different mindset. So I will trust him in that regards. Like I said, there's a different culture involved now, adding stars, adding veteran players. You see the jokes all around about, the only thing Carlos Santana actually hit last year was a TV, ripping apart his batting average. And, hey, man, he walked. And that was big. Clearly, that signing didn't work. So, just some Phillies news here. Bryce Harper, he looks to be okay after getting smacked in the ankle. He came back and then still hitless in the spring training aspect of it all. He's still a little late on his swings. We're creeping up here on opening day now, and that's Thursday. It's really creeping up, and I still have not gotten my Bryce Harper jersey from MLBshop.com. Very poor decision on my part to order it the exact day that it went live and went out. It was literally right after his press conference. Would I have expected it to take this long and say it will be shipped no later than May 31st? No, I wouldn't have expected it to take that long, but here I am, just waiting. Another Dunkin' day, by the way. I always get chirped by you guys. Wawa, Dunkin'. Wawa, Dunkin'. I'm a Dunkin' guy. I love Wawa, though. Don't get me wrong. It just depends on the day. But I have been hitting the Dunkin' lately. So down below in the comments section, I want to hear your thoughts on this Mike Trout thing. You can't blame the man. You don't walk away from $430 million, 12 years. It makes it seem like Bryce's isn't too bad, although I understand Mike Trout is a higher level player. You look at the AAV and all, but from the Angels organization standpoint, you don't let him walk. It just cracks me up that Mike Trout's coming here. I said that after we got Bryce. Let's make that clear. There is a huge difference. I wanted Bryce. 90% of the fan base, I wouldn't say 90, that's harsh, but a good portion of the fan base said, let's just not even go in on Bryce Harper. Let's not even go in on Manny Machado, and let's just put up the recliner and wait for 2 years because we know Mike Trout's coming here. There's no other way he doesn't come here. There's no way he doesn't just because of he's from South Jersey and he's an Eagles fan, and why wouldn't he want to play here? Well, that's a great mindset. It's the same thing as Nick Foles. Yeah, Nick Foles would take less money to be a backup. Of course he would. He loves Philadelphia. Yeah, say that to his $100 million plus contract. It's just not how it works. So, You know, am I heartbroken? No, I'm not heartbroken. As much as I wanted him here, and it would have been awesome, and Bryce and him are talking and all that, that's great. That's great. But, you know, first off, it's still a couple years down the road to the point where I don't get excited for that. I'm pumped for this year. I'm pumped for this year. I'm excited for this year. Of course, I would want it, but I'm not heartbroken about it. I'm not heartbroken about it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.